Welcome everyone to Quantum Leap. I'm your host, Toyin Umesiri, and with me in the studio here in downtown Aurora are leaders from the Illinois Small Business Development Center, SBDC by the SBA. Welcome to Quantum Leap.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm super excited to have you on because you're going to be sharing a lot of information with our guests and audience today.
Yes.
So let me go ahead and read your bio. Okay.
Sure.
To my immediate left is Miss Harriet Parker. She serves as the manager of the Illinois Small Business Development Center at Waubonsee Community College. Miss Parker has over 30 years experience managing successful startup businesses, where she played a key role in designing and marketing software products that are in use nationwide today. In addition to her role at Waubonsee, she is co-owner of Uptack. How do you say that?
Hubtac, yes.
Uptack Inc., a web-based business serving land surveyors and engineers. Ms. Parker actively supports the local business community through her involvement on numerous boards and committees. Welcome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Also with us in the studio is Miss Noelia.
Noelia.
Noelia?
Yes.
Awesome, beautiful.
Thank you.
Ms. Noelia is a bilingual Spanish business advisor, social media and certified Google Analytics professional with extensive experience in advising Hispanic entrepreneurs and business owners with business planning, financing, sourcing, and marketing needs. She's an highly involved community business leader who loves to create new ways to promote and reach business goals. Business owners of ice cream shop. Tell me about that. That got my attention. Let's get down into it.
Of course.
Awesome.
Yeah. I have a business. I started it last year. It's focused on ice cream, artisan ice cream. Yeah, who is not like the popular ice cream you can find out there. It doesn't have any artificial colors or any conservatives, so it's just natural. So it's just there. It's very typical in Mexico to find that traditional ice cream. It's like homemade here.
Yes.
Ice cream. So
how's that going?
well, during winter time, obviously, the ice cream is not like the first treat that people wanted, but we have also other items that it complements it. So
I love that.
good.
I love that because that got my attention. I was like, wow. One of the interviews I had before was on the concept of international and welcoming diverse voices and
Yeah.
bringing, multicultural voices and bringing our recipes
Yes.
and traditions and
Yeah.
food and getting other people to explore and try it. And so I love that as well.
Yeah, that's
So
what
thank you.
No, yeah, you're welcome.
I'm sure the
Thank you.
community would love trying that out.
Yes.
So how has your experience been? We were just talking before we kicked this off. You've been helping for over 17 years with the SBDC.
Correct.
17 years. How's that journey been?
Actually, very exciting. It's definitely a passion of mine to work with small business owners. And, we serve our Small Business Development Center is one of approximately 35 centers that are located around the state of Illinois. And we are a national program. We are funded by the Small Business Administration and then also by the Department of Commerce and is the Illinois state funder of the program. And then Waubonsee Community College provides matching grant funds that allow us to provide the services that we do at no cost to our clients. So we work with both startups, people that are thinking about starting a business, as well as with established business owners, helping them to grow, to improve their business. We help with business acquisition, succession planning,
Wow.
so all kinds of things. And I think the thing that I love about it the most is just the diversity of our clients. In every industry, from all different kinds of backgrounds, every educational level, and it's just every day is a learning experience for me.
Wow, I love that. And I think in my mind, from a diverse standpoint, because I also come from a community of diverse
Yes.
leaders,
Mhm.
right? What I found is that the courage to launch out, right? The
Yes.
audacity to explore your your thoughts, your ideas.
Yes.
What message do you have just to encourage people in terms of the opportunities that entrepreneurship and business ownership offers, even those who may not naturally think that they are able to pursue it?
Of course. I've been seeing, and especially in our Hispanic community, how many people come here to United States with that desire or wish to do something on top of the background that they have. And here we can find a huge plate of opportunities. And sometimes, what I've seen is that when they reach out to us and they can accomplish, all the goals that they have as a business, they are being really beneficial.
Yes.
So something that our job or homework, let's say, is to reach more people and help them, because many of them have ideas, great ideas, and they know how to work.
Yes.
They come here because they want to do something and they do it well. So that's why it's one of my main objectives, is to find those people and help them.
Yes.
Because there is a huge need of information and education to those entrepreneurs who wants to start a business, and most of the time, all the business owners make mistakes. We do mistakes, but what we are trying to help is to do less mistakes.
I always say, like, learn fast instead of fail fast, because it's
True.
either you learn
Yeah.
on your own attempts,
Mhm.
or you come for advice, right?
Right.
You listen
Yes.
to experts.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the services you talk about, offering one-on-one advisory services to startups. What does that look like?
Yes, so we do have a workshop that we offer in both English and Spanish called Starting Your Business. And if someone is thinking about starting, that's the first step that we
Mm.
want them to take. It lays the foundation. It gives them the basic information they need to know about incorporation, about how to, approach your market, just basic
Mhm.
things. And then once they take that workshop, then we encourage them to come back and sit down with us one-on-one, so we can start to work with them in their specific situation. And as Noelia said, entrepreneurs, they have their passions and their areas of expertise, but many times general business is not their strong suit.
Mhm.
So we want to fill in what they are good at with the business side of things so that they can be successful.
Right. So business education coupled with their technical skills.
Right.
And so, yeah, I agree. I've seen that as well, because even those who are coming out of, say, corporate, they've used their technical skills to serve an organization. So someone like myself, so they are highly capable and competent. They have high competency in specific skills,
Yes.
but in order to sell,
Mhm.
market,
Yeah.
brand, pricing, all
Mhm.
market research,
Mhm.
consumer
Mhm.
insight, I think most people start out not knowing how much is
Mhm.
required on the business side.
Right.
Mhm. That's true.
I think that's the most surprising thing, because when we start, it's like, I've got it.
Yeah.
I've got it. The technical aspect, yes, you've got the
Mhm.
technical aspect, but in order to market your skills or your product or your services, there are best practices.
Mhm.
So could you start sharing, like, based on your experience, maybe a few best practices, and then I know you have a long list.
Oh, yes, she has.
So what best practices for someone who is either thinking of becoming an entrepreneur or starting a business,
Yeah.
or someone who has just started and is now struggling?
Yeah.
What would you say they need to start doing?
Well, one of the things that we see all the time is that many entrepreneurs or small business don't have a business plan, or they don't have a plan, action plan.
Mhm.
So the first thing that we ask is, do you have a business plan? If not, we can start. We share templates, we share ideas, and we review. We talk about it, or we go to a specific issue or problem that they have,
Mhm.
and we go over.
Yes.
So, and then we don't know anything, everything. We don't know everything, but and they can, sometimes we can reach out to other people who
Yes.
can as an expertise on the area, so they can help them.
I love that.
Mhm.
So not only do they come to you and you offer them your expertise, you're also part of a network of people that
Yes.
even if you personally cannot answer those questions, you're
Yeah.
able to connect them
Yes.
to, is it government resources or private sector expertise?
It's both.
Both.
It's both. Yes.
Mhm.
So if they need attorneys or insurance resources or banking and finance, you know, we
Marketing.
have
Marketing.
a strong network of resources that we can refer out
Oh,
to.
fantastic.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
I like that because oftentimes it's not knowing who to call.
Right.
And
Yes.
referral is always a great way,
Yes.
you know.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that's great information.
Yes.
Yes. Any more best practices?
I would say for me, it's the financial aspect.
Okay.
I would say that business owners, you know, unless they are in the financial field, that tends to be a weak spot for them. Is
Okay.
they don't understand numbers well or finance well, and one of, you know, we do encourage them to use an accountant or a bookkeeper, but we want them to be knowledgeable on how to assess how their business is doing from a financial standpoint. So
Okay.
we're going to help them get those basic skills to know how to read their profit and loss and their balance sheet, and how to do forecasting to determine like where, you know, what if they change their prices, what if they open up a brick and mortar location, what will the financial impact of those decisions be on their business, so that they don't you know, they don't stay focused. You know, people do what they like to do, they spend the most time doing. And the
Yeah.
things they don't like to do, they tend to avoid. And so we're trying to get them to really have the full picture of everything that they're doing, so that they do have, you know, a good solid foundation to grow that business on.
That is so important because you're right.
Mhm.
There's a natural way for us to be narrow focused,
Mhm.
particularly when you've been an employee where it's that's the approach. But the success of an entrepreneur is almost like a pilot. I always say it's like a pilot that has the dashboard. You have to know
Yes.
everything
That's a
about
great
a
analogy.
plane,
I love
Yeah.
that.
right?
Yeah.
It's the engine, it's the
Yeah.
lights, it's the
Mhm.
airflow.
Yes.
Because that plane is not taking off until everything works.
Right.
Mhm.
So the dexterity and so I love the fact that you talked about that, because I think that's the differentiating factor of a successful entrepreneur.
Mhm.
The ability to be at a minimum good at a lot of things,
Mhm.
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
You can specialize in one dimension, but for you to actually run your business and to hire the right people, you have to be even able to supervise somebody else,
Of course.
right? So
Mhm.
even if you're not the one doing marketing,
Mhm.
your ability to understand how important it is to the
Yes.
growth and
Yes.
expansion of your business is a fundamental.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I realized, because if people don't feel comfortable with marketing, it's the last thing they want to do.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want
Uh-huh.
my face out there. I just want to make money.
Yes.
How do you make money if people don't know?
Yeah.
And I see in your background, that's a big space, your expertise, social media, all of
Yes.
those things. So today, I'm thinking that part of a core business skill is now media, social selling,
Yes.
social media.
Mhm.
And I know many people are still trying to avoid it. It's like
Yes.
back to 2000, you need a website, you need an
Mhm.
email, and people are like, why do I need an email?
Yes.
Why do I need a website? I think people are I still hear some people screeching and saying, I wish I don't have to go on social media.
Yeah.
I wish I don't have to post anything. I wish I don't have to
Yeah.
create any videos. Please
Mhm.
share.
Yeah, I mean, we are at the era where there is a digital train.
Yes.
You have to jump in.
Mm.
You have to get in. Otherwise, it's gonna go, and you're gonna stay there with your
Mm.
business by yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
But you know, on the flip side of that too, it's so important because there are so many different ways that you can
Yeah.
market your business.
Mhm.
It's really important to know who is your customer
Mhm.
and where are they likely to connect with you, because you can easily, back to the money piece,
Mhm.
is you can easily spend a lot of money
Yeah.
on things that are not helpful to you.
Yes.
So knowing who your customer is, what are the best ways to reach them? What demographic are they in? What age group are they in? These are all things that are really going to help us to help them craft an effective marketing strategy.
I agree. I
And
love
definitely are so many options. And something that I always share is like, use the one that you are comfortable with, because it's mostly where your customers are, or you're gonna find it. It's not usually, I mean, the general rule, but it's something to start with.
Yes.
So once you know the audience, once you know your market, then you're gonna select. And if you cannot do it yourself, is when you delegate, other jobs to other experts to do it, because it's gonna be worth it. It's the money you're gonna put there is gonna be, have a return.
Yes. And and what I found is like social selling is quite unique in the sense that people may not be on social media necessarily to buy.
Yeah.
It might be entertainment, it might be TikTok,
Yes.
Instagram.
Yeah.
But just like the era of TV, radio, is as long as people are paying attention, if people's attention is on a media or medium, then it's an opportunity to capture attention. So pretty much that's what it is. So you can still do traditional like billboards, signage, radio. You can also do email marketing, email blast, or even slow mail, like postal. So to your point, there's a lot of different ways to reach people with your message, but social media is growing so fast.
Yes. If there's a rule that says that a customer needs to see you at least 7 times in order to pay attention to you. So you need to find those 7 times on your customer, different channels.
Different channels.
Yes. And then the other thing is, because the digital marketing, you talked about people were being resistant to it, but you also have the other extreme where people feel like, well, that's the only way. And personal face-to-face networking is still one of the most effective ways to market your business. So, joining a chamber or going to those networking groups, because that's how people make that face-to-face connection with who are you, what do you do, and build that trust factor.
100%. By the way, this is, I think, the gap in social media is that in person is still the place where you can build trust the fastest.
Yes.
Right, is that you can see people, you can assess, you can ask questions, and there's nothing beats in person, right? But I think with COVID, COVID pushed everyone online. We were in a way forced to adapt, and we made online work. We had to make online work, right? And so it's working so well that people now, in a way, people now don't want to leave social media to come to in-person events.
Right. Yes.
Because I've seen that. I've seen that some people want to get away and still connect with people, but I've also seen that many people now prefer online. So it's still back to, if the consumers, if your potential clients are right there on LinkedIn, they're right there on Instagram, they're right there on Facebook, for whatever reason, maybe connecting with family, consuming great content, entertainment, laughter. Everything is on social media right now.
Yeah, it has to be a connection.
Yes.
At some point.
And I was surprised a little bit that, obviously during COVID, we did everything virtually. All our meetings were virtual. But we are now probably, I would say, 95% in person with our clients, and our clients actually prefer the in person. I think they need that connection. They understand things better in person, especially when we're sharing, spreadsheets and other templates and tools. So I guess I was a little surprised at how quickly our client base came back to wanting to meet in person.
Yes. I love that too, because I actually host international events. So before COVID, right, people would actually fly in from like international guests. And COVID, obviously, we all went online too. And I agree. When serious business has to be made, it's still in person. So I think once you've gotten to connect with people, people will still want to come in physically. So I love that. That's absolutely accurate. I agree with you. So let's come home to Aurora. What's going on in the business environment in Aurora, the second largest city in Illinois. I love to say that because I know most people, gravitate towards Chicago. I get it, but we're just an hour west of Chicago. So when it comes to business post-COVID, what have you seen in terms of recovery? The business climate. What questions are people asking? What are the top challenges they're facing? And also, how are they thriving?
Right. Yeah. Can you start?
Well, something that we saw is a lot of people left their jobs to start their business. That we have a ton of people who wanted to start new things because they discovered after COVID they had this skill, or they want to pursue something that they love. So we have a lot of clients coming in after that, and yeah, it was huge for us, right?
Yeah, and that's a typical. Anytime there is a downturn in the economy, we see an uptick in business startups because for that exact dynamic that people either they're laid off or they so we see an uptick in the interest in business starts. The challenge, however, is that that's also the time that funding is the most challenging to get. And so I would say the two dynamics right now are well, first of all, one of the big myths has to do with startup financing. And that is that pretty much if you are going to start a business, most of the time you are going to need to do it with your own funds. So there is a big myth out there that there are grants, that there are loans. Typically, you have to have some time in business before you can access lending. And grants get very specific, more targeted to the nonprofit world, but also they get very specific. So there's a big myth out there about that. But as far as right now, the dynamic on funding is, you have the two things that I would say are the most challenging to establish businesses right now are the inflation and the supply chain issues. Employees is a huge challenge, finding the workforce you need, and then finding the funding that you need, because when the economy gets tight, funding gets tight. It always happens at the same time.
Wow. So funding, you talked about staffing. What's the big challenge on staffing?
It's finding people that want to work for a small business.
Wow.
It's been, there's a lot of employees available, but this is not like the right people to the
matching
right.
them.
Yes,
matching them.
Yes.
Wow.
So they go here and there. They're looking, at 50 cents more in the other corner. Things like that. They want more hours. They want just work.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. And then you talked about funding. Is it 1 year, 2 years into business before you can open up?
Typically, the things that are most important are approximately 2 years in business, but the other two things that are critical are being able to show profitability and having a reasonably good credit score. Because those are the two kind of top criteria that a lender is going to be looking at. And one thing that many times businesses don't realize is that either they may be doing cash transactions, or they may be wanting to not have to pay as much in taxes, so they're deducting a lot of things. So if you go to a lender and you are showing a loss in your business, the lender that's a risky scenario for a lender. So showing profit as quickly as you can in your business is very important.
Oh, that's great information to know. That's really huge. So how often do you do your workshops and your one-on-one? Do people just pick up the phone, call you, send you an email, and then you schedule it on your calendar? Or do you have monthly or weekly group sessions?
Yeah, we have our starting your business workshop. I think in English it's twice a month. Are you monthly or?
I have one in person once a month, and once a month I have the virtual in Spanish. Yeah.
Wonderful. So basically Spanish, start to finish in Spanish.
Yes.
That's great.
And then, we have other workshops. We have a lot of pre-recorded workshops that people can watch on their own time. All of our workshops are no cost, as our consulting services are no cost. So I think the other thing that, there's a lot of specific things that we help businesses with, but one of the really valuable resources that we offer is just someone with business expertise to talk to. Because every single one of our advisors, we have a number of contractual advisors, every single one of our advisors has business ownership experience.
Wow.
So we all have experience in owning a business, and entrepreneurs, they don't have people to talk to.
I love this conversation because oftentimes what you need is therapy, the emotion,
someone to listen to,
someone to understand,
Yes.
really somebody that just gets it.
Yes.
Right. And I think that's one of the mistakes I've heard people make, where they're going to people who do not have those experiences, and they're looking for someone to just listen, offer perspective, understand. And oftentimes you cannot get that everywhere. Right. Only someone that has gone through what it is you're trying to, do, that can really offer you empathy, support, insights, advice. So I think maybe should we call it business mentorship, some form of that?
Oh, absolutely. Coaching, mentorship. Yes, absolutely.
Right, because the emotional, like there's a session I've been teaching even to entrepreneurs on emotional intelligence, right? Because I feel like the entire journey is really layered with emotional roller coasters, right? Starting high, oh, I can do this. Oh no.
And sometimes the family, the closest ones, especially, are the ones who push you down.
Oh, because they care so much, but they don't understand.
Oh, they're jealous sometimes.
Oh, really?
So many things.
Yes. And also, if a business owner is experiencing problems, and they may not want to talk about to their business peers. So, we're a confidential service. Every client signs a confidentiality agreement that assures them that anything they share with us is confidential. We can't talk about specific clients without their permission. And so, now they can have a safe place they can come and say, I'm really having a problem here, or I'm really struggling with this and I don't know what to do about it. And it's a private conversation with someone that knows business that can give them feedback and help them understand.
Right.
Or work through the problem.
I think this is actually the best kept secret in the startup space. The reason is because if people knew they could seek advice, they will seek advice. But I think most people do not know this exists. Right? So in a way, people find themselves feeling alone, without help, without support, without a safe space where there's understanding, where there's space where people can literally help you. People who want you to win, people who want you to succeed, people who want your business to, prosper. I think most people may not be aware that that kind of support exists.
That's kind of our job, to reach out.
Yes.
I also think it's a combination of that. Yes. A lot of people don't know we exist until they start needing the help and go looking for it. Right. But also it's an interesting dynamic because I always say entrepreneurs are stubborn know-it-alls. And you know what? They would not start their own business if they weren't. If that was not in their DNA, they would never start a business. But that is the nature of entrepreneurs is to, be wanting to do it themselves. And so they have to overcome that in order to seek that help. So I think it's both sides. It's a mixture of not knowing that the help is there, but also maybe going, well, I don't need that help.
Yeah, that's true.
What you're saying really is so deep because I have a book on mindset of an entrepreneur. And what I see and I've experienced is exactly that. But what I tried to do was to map it by year of startup. I've seen that in the very first year, there's so much passion, there's so much courage, there's so much belief in self that in a way, the people who need that advice the most seek it the least. Believe that they don't need it because there's so much passion in us.
Yes.
We just want to go, and we actually believe we have everything we need to start.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons I coined this phrase: passion is not a substitute for expertise.
Very true.
You know, like no matter how passionate, because passion, it fuels, it's like the fuel in the car. It gets us started, but you need a roadmap to make sure you don't get lost.
Yeah, that's true.
So we need both. We need the passion, but we also need expertise. We need skills. We need knowledge. We need capacity. We need resources. So I think that's one of the challenges, is that how I wish those that are starting can get this information and use this information so that they don't make mistakes. But I found is that they are the last people to seek it out. And then by year 2, what I've seen is that people say, oh, it's not as easy as I thought. And then by year 3, people are like, what?
Yes.
What?
Oh, yeah.
And I think year 3 is when people have to decide, do I keep going or do I give up?
Yes.
Those who make it into year 4 and year 5, I think that's when they start actively reading books, taking classes, seeking help. But that's 5 years in.
Yes.
So that's why, you know, we need to activate more conversations at the startup level to say, if you're thinking about it, don't leave your job yet.
No,
Right.
Just
number
right?
one thing.
Don't leave your job, because when you plant a seed, the harvest doesn't come to the next day.
Right.
I always say, like, your business needs money too. It needs money.
Yes.
You need money. Your business needs money.
Yeah.
It eats money. So yeah, that's that mindset. So I wrote the book of Mind. How you think. How do you transition from corporate employee to entrepreneurship? And that mindset of not asking for help, I think it's a big one. So please just share your address, where they can find help, your website, because the reason we're having your team here is for people to know there's help. Seek it, ask, go there, like call people. Don't be alone. There are so many people who want you to win.
Yeah. Well, people here in Aurora, or people who knows Wabansi Community College, well, we are in the 2nd floor. My office is on the 3rd floor, but you can find us on the 2nd floor, and the address is 18 South River here in Aurora, and we have the website Wabansi SBDC. How you?
Yes, it's we have a webpage both in English and in Spanish. wabansi.edu/SBDC. Or /SBDC Espanol. And there you will find a place to sign up for an appointment, or you can email us at sbdc@wabansi.edu.
Find the workshops.
You can find our workshops on the webpage. Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
We are on Facebook too. Wabansi SBDC.
Would you like to speak to Espanol guests in
Claro
Spanish?
que sí, claro que sí. Pues los invitamos a que nos visiten el Wabansi Community College en el Departamento de Pequeños Negocios. Estamos ubicados en el 2º piso y ahí estamos para ayudarles. Los pueden encontrar también en una página web en wabansi.edu/SBDC, y ahí pueden encontrar talleres que tenemos próximamente, o talleres pregrabados, y también pueden ahí dar un clic para tener una asesoría individual con nosotros, o también nos pueden llamar y ahí nosotros los atendemos.
Thank you.
Yes.
So my final question is more of a personal leadership success question. In terms of, your years of experience achieving success in your space, what would your number 1, number 2 tip of personal success be to, if you could share that with our audience? Just something personal that you would like to share, the secret to your success.
For me, it's never stop learning. I never stop learning. I've been doing this for 17 and a half years, and I still learn things from my clients all the time. And so if you have a learning mindset, you are always going to improve.
I love it. Becoming a student of life. Wow.
For me, it's learn from your mistakes. Having my business, I've been learning a lot. At the beginning, I was so scared to make a mistake because I knew it was gonna cost me money and time, and I was so afraid. Many things like, no, I need to do this perfect, and I need to do this right. So then, after a year, I've been kind of more relaxed and looking at my business in another perspective. being more a business owner and no business operator, and let the things flow and accept the mistakes and learn from it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I mean, struggling but
Yes.
learning and growing.
I love, like, this is just, I love the realness of what you're sharing, because we gain perfection on the journey, not before the journey.
Yeah.
And learning from your mistake is applying the lessons to actually gain perfection.
Yes.
So when nothing starts out perfect, but we can increase perfection by learning from our mistakes. So I really love that.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to share with our audience before we close out today?
I would just say, if you are a small business owner or you aspire to be a small business owner, there are resources. We're one of more than of several. Get help.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you.
Yeah, we offer different workshops, but not only us. You can get online and learn. Keep learning. Keep learning. We can see many business owners that are learning something new, even they have 3 or 5 years, and they are growing because they took a class, they took a workshop, and they grow and they see, you know what, I was missing this part. So
Oh,
yeah.
thank you so much. This was really fantastic. Thank you everyone for joining us again on Quantum Leap. I hope you've really gained a lot of insights today, and please do reach out to our guests today. They're here to help you, they're here to support, and they're fully funded by the Small Business Administration.
Yeah.
So take advantage if you're a taxpayer. Thank you so much for joining again. See you again next week. Bye.